Are you going to drift or are you going to take action? Hey guys, it's Dan Greer with Forge. I'm coming at you today for your 5-minute power up. And today we are chatting all about taking action or drifting. It is 100% your choice what you're going to do every day. I can't help that. I can't fix it. I can't change anything. Napoleon Hill says in his book, Outwitting the Devil, that drifters make up 98% of the world. What is drifting? Drifting is when you don't have a definite purpose. When you don't have a purpose in life. When you're just going through life every day, not truly making a difference, not truly moving toward a goal. You're just there. You're just there. That's what drifting is. When you have a definite purpose, you won't drift. Okay? If you're a drifter, you're not very good at taking action. And what do I mean by not very good at taking action when you drift? I'm guilty of drifting from time to time. I'm not going to lie. Okay? My kids are guilty of it. My wife's guilty of it. My employees are guilty of it. We're all guilty of it from time to time. What does drifting look like? Drifting looks like knowing you need to call and schedule a driving appointment for your daughter to take her permit test or take her license test, and you put it off because you're scared to make that call. Drifting is knowing you need to go do something for a customer and not doing it because you're scared because it's a new process. Drifting is not pressing record on the phone or on the camera because you're scared of what you look like, or your hair's not perfect, or you just rolled out of bed, or your makeup's not on right, or your one eyelash is hanging off the side of your lip. I don't know. I don't really have that problem. My eyelashes hang off wherever they're going to hang off, man. It is what it is, but you know what I'm saying. Drifting is not doing what you know you need to do. Putting off till tomorrow what you should be doing today. And I just want you to realize that. I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to really understand what drifting is. Because the opposite of drifting is having a definite purpose in life. Moving towards something. No matter what that is, you're moving toward it. You're moving in the right path. You're moving to that area. And you're taking action to get there. Right? A great example of drifting is, in getting out of drifting, okay, is my daughter. My daughter's 15 and a half years old. She's had her permit since she was 15. She goes and takes her license test here in a couple months. We've got that all scheduled, all set up, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And up until this point, like, she's driven like 50 or 60 hours, but she's been very diligent about the hours she's been driving, but she doesn't ask to drive. She doesn't say, I want to drive. You have to tell her you're driving. And so the other day, I kind of had a little come to Jesus talk with her. And I said, hey, you need to pull your head out of your rear end and you need to start asking to drive, because guess what? You're going to be driving by yourself in about 3 months. And if you're not prepared, that's not anybody's fault but your own, because guess what? You haven't taken the opportunities that are in front of you. We did a 30-day family road trip and drove over like 10,000 miles this summer. 40 or 50 hours of drive time, and you chose not to drive any of it. You were asked several times if you wanted to drive. Would have been a great opportunity for you to learn. Would have been a great opportunity for you to be in different places. You were drifting. You didn't have a definite purpose. You didn't have the purpose to learn how to drive. Instead, you said, I'm going to sit in the back and play on my phone and drift. And I kind of got after her a little bit. But you know what? It was a great conversation, because you know what happens now? The other day, she came out of dance class and she does this one to me. She points at me and I'm sitting in the driver's seat and she goes, scoot over. And I was like, what? And she points at me and she goes, scoot over. And I kind of gave her that, dumb parent look, like all good parents do once in a while. Like, what are you talking about? Then she points at herself and she does the steering wheel motion in her hand. I'm driving. You scoot over. She tells me to move over. And I was like, good for you. There's a reason I made her work for it. I knew what she wanted in the first place. But there's a reason I made her work for it, is because she needed to be assertive to get me out of that driver's seat so that she knew she wanted to be behind the wheel. And honestly, she drove in that morning on the snow. It was a great day, and she did a great job driving in. She did a great job driving home that day. But that's something that, like, she needed to come to Jesus talk so she could get a definite purpose, because she needed to understand that if she's not prepared to drive on her own in 3 months, that's nobody's fault but her own. And she needed that. So now she has a definite purpose. Now she's behind the wheel every single chance she gets. When it's legal. She's not driving with friends. She's not driving with her older brother. She's only behind the wheel with, a licensed adult who's actually an adult who can drive, who has that ability to coach her. But so what are you doing today? Are you drifting or are you taking action? And if you're drifting, I'm going to do this for you right now. Are you ready? You can turn it off if you don't like that. It's not going to be very kosher, but it's going to be real. Are you ready for this? If you're drifting right now and you know you need to do something, pull your head out of your freaking rear end and get it done. The hell are you waiting on? Stop screwing around. Take action. Get it finished, because ain't nobody else going to come pull your ass out of the mud when you're stuck. You're responsible for yourself. Nobody else is responsible for you. Hey guys, this is Dan Greer with Forge, coming at you today with your 5-minute power up. I know I'm a little late, so I apologize, a little long, but grab a copy of my book, Grit, Grease, and Grace, Leadership Forged in the Trenches. You can get it from gritgreasegrace.com. See you guys later. Bye.